to my channel. I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Friday! I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's video is going to be, I'm gonna review The Sword of Kaigen.
A romance reader's take on a popular fantasy book.
Take on a fantasy. I read this book because of Hannah Blackwell, and Issa. They sing this book's praises every time I watch their channel, and I wanted to read it. I listened to the audiobook of The Sword of Kaigen, and I followed along with the ebook. It is on Kindle Unlimited, and the audiobook was great, by the way. The narrator did such a good job. I had so many emotions with this book. I was happy, I was sad, I was frustrated, I laughed. I experienced a whole gamut of emotions with this book. But this book is a wartime book. We follow the people of, I'm hoping I say the town right, Takabayashi. And we specifically were following this family. And we're following these three people. The mom, her name is, the son's name is Mamoru, and the father of the family is named Tukaru. Tukaru's family is like the top dog for swordsmanship. They're known as the Matsuda family, and they have control of the Whispering Blade. That's why they have such a high reputation. And he is the second son in the Matsuda family, and his brother is the first son, and he basically does everything his older brother tells him to do. He cannot deviate from direction because that's what he was taught to do growing up. And in this town, this Japanese town, they're basically loyal to the emperor, and anything the emperor tells them, they are not allowed to deviate from the emperor's instructions. Mamoru is the eldest son of Mitsuki and Tukaru, and his whole life he trains to make a whispering blade of his own, because his whole life he's taught to defend the ideals of the emperor, to make this whispering blade like his father and his uncle before him. His whole identity is being this great swordsman like his father. He goes to school for that. They do swordsmanship, and he goes along with this ideal until a transfer student, Chonghee, the outside comes into this small Japanese town and challenges the beliefs that are taught in school. They were in class one day, a history class, and Chung-hee was basically laughing at the teacher in class, and Mamoru confronts his new classmate. He asked Chung-hee why was he laughing at the teacher, and Chung-hee basically tells Mamoru that everything the teacher says is basically a lie. It's basically propaganda. The emperor does not have good intentions. So after his conversation with Chung-hee, his world is basically turned on his axis. He goes home. Zaki, she wants to know why he's basically dirty and beaten up and has cuts on his face. She wants to know why. He has to explain that he got into a fight with the transfer student because the transfer student was telling lies about the emperor and saying that the emperor doesn't care of his citizens, and so he basically asked his mother if what the transfer student tells him is true or not, and Mitsaki tells him that what the transfer student says is actually true. Mitsaki knows this because when she was a teenager, she got to go. She
basically got to live outside of their small, little town, and basically learned there's more to life than what the emperor is saying.
When she got married, she was told to never bring up anything about her past, to forget her life as a swordsman. Mizaki and Mamoru get closer because she is more open to him about her ideals, because in this world, sons in the family are basically their husband's sons. Like, up to a certain age, the mother has no say in their upbringing anymore. So Mizaki kept Mamoru at arm's length because will be looked down upon if she tries to teach her way of fighting to Mamoru. She did that when Mamoru was younger, and she basically got chewed out for it by her father-in-law. It isn't until he comes to her with the information that he's learned about the empire that they go closer. But Takaru, the husband, refuses to believe what Mamoru is saying about the empire. He was taught to believe everything the empire says. They get a letter from Mizuki's brother saying they have to leave town. News on TV are not true. Storms are ravaging the town and everything is destroyed, but the letter she got from her brother tells her that those letters are not true, that there are no storms in town. It's basically an enemy country trying to attack their villages, trying to attack the warrior clans. And Mizuki tries to leave with her sons before the enemy soldiers can get to them, but it's too late and they are forced to fight. Mamoru goes with Takeru and his uncle to the front line and fights in the war, and Mizuki has no choice to take up her sword again and protects her family. And all the while Mamoru and Takeru are fighting in the front lines, and there is a lot of death in this book. Mizuki and Takeru have their marriage is in shambles, basically. It isn't until after the war and they lost people and they confront each other about what they're feeling that Mizuki realizes that her husband's standoffish demeanor is how he copes with loss. And Takeru realizes that Mizuki is not this girl that is made out of glass, that she can stand on her own, that she is a warrior of her own. And there's a lot of death in this book, and they come together through tragedy. The book is epic. I loved it. It made me cry. It's definitely one of my favorite books of the year. If you want to try a really hype fantasy book, please try this one. I would love it if my friends read this book, like Jess at Honest Fiction, Joe from Not So Average Joe, and Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages, because this book is really epic and I just really want to hear their thoughts. Those are all my thoughts on The Sword of Kaigen. Please let me know if you plan to pick it up. It's definitely one of my favorite books of the year. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see ya Monday. Bye.